So today we're going to have a look at the Multi MK1 and the Multi MK2 and the obvious differences between them. So if we start with the MK1, the original Multi, one of the most notable differences is the power switch. Here we have a trigger. On the MK2 there is a power button. Secondly, on the MK1 the brush attachment is always attached. On the new MK2 the brush attachment quite clearly isn't there. The brush attachment comes separately and affixes to the front. That is one of the best ideas, because that brush, when you're trying to clean up something that's a little bit nasty, which I quite often get because I have two-year-old twin girls that like to make a lot of mess, that brush part can get quite gunky and is sometimes a pain to clean. Sticking with the MK2 and on brushes, this tool, the extender, is now included in the box. On the MK1 the tool is slightly wider in its opening, which may be a concern on the MK2 because it's slightly narrower, and it's the same tool for all intents and purposes. However, you do have to send off for this one separately. It's not included in the box. It's still free of charge, but it's not included in the box. Why? I do not know. The biggest difference from the MK1 to the MK2 is the ability to completely remove this. The reason being is the new motorized brush head. Other than this, there are no huge differences. There is the addition, something very minor, of dots on the top, which is good for when you take out the extender hose, because you know exactly where it's meant to go on the MK2. On the MK1 there are no dots, and I always find myself second guessing exactly whether it's clicked in properly or not. Something minor, probably doesn't affect a lot of people, but for me that was a nice addition. Last but not least, the only real difference is the bin. On the old MK1 you would empty the bin from the bottom and the filter comes out of the bottom and is removed like so. On the MK2, the only real difference with this, the bin still comes out in the same way. You still empty it from the bottom in the same way. However, the filter now removes as a single unit from the top and is a pretty green colour. According to Gtech, the AirRam MK2 now has 30% more power than the MK1. The MK1, unless you're picking up second hand on eBay now, is no longer available. It's completely been replaced with the MK2. The MK1 you can pick up on eBay for around £90 to £100. The MK1 on its own on Gtech's website is £150. However, if you buy it along with the Gtech AirRam, you save £50 on both, so you can get both the Gtech AirRam and the Multi for £300.